Alright, so the plan was to just make the molds, but I mean, since I do have other videos where I kind of demonstrate this, I've gotten some emails saying they would like to see the whole process, so bear with me, guys. Right now I'm making I'm going to make a two-piece mold, and I'm using water-based clay or wet clay to divide the piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up that hole. So I'm making just the stuff doing individual keys. I'm just making the groove all around the arm here, so that way the other half, when you put them together, they'll align perfectly. Smooth it out with your finger or a brush. Okay, now being that the clay is still not completely dry on the surface, actually, I'm going to use a blow dryer to dry the surface. Okay, so now it's very smooth to the touch, so it's dry on the surface, and I'm going to spray it with some matte finish. Okay, now that is dry. Now I'm going to do something different. Normally, of course, you would build the wall here all around it and pour in the silicone or brush it on, whichever, and that's fine. But I'm actually not going to use the silicone to make the mold this time. I'm actually going to use a brushable compound. The difference is it's not silicone, and if you don't put a release on this, it will get stuck on these guys like big time. The reason I'm doing that is I already made a small little test, not on this but on a little different mold, and the silicone does not stick to this material. A little bit, but not as much. But then if you use the release agent, I'll be able to take out the silicone arms. Okay, like this stuff here, Brush on 50 brushable mold compound. When this stuff hardens, it's not as flexible as silicone. So if I make it thick enough, I think I may be able to avoid the doing the outer shell. So I think that might work pretty well. So again, before I put and mix up that compound, I will be using universal mold release. Alright, so we'll let that dry, the mold release, and you mix this part equal amounts. So if it's 1 cup of the part B, it's one cup of part A. Brush it on, which is what I will be doing. And so we'll get that going. And again, I know these molds are pretty ghetto looking, and all you experts out there are probably saying, what the hell, this guy doesn't know how to do molds. True, I could take my time and just make them all nice and pretty, as I've said before, but no need to. I just need to be able to get a nice piece out. So I don't really care about how pretty the molds are. Anyways, so I hope you all learned something here anyways, little shortcuts or whatnot. Just pouring in equal amounts. So once mixed, just start applying. And you want to make sure you get every little detail first. Alright, so we'll let that dry, or at least until it gets a little bit tacky, and we'll add more coats on top. Okay, so I'm adding the second layer, nice and thick. Alright, so now that it's dry, actually it does seem kind of firm, so I may not need to do that shell I was talking about. This off, turn it around. Okay, so now it's time to mold this area here. So we're just going to clean this clay off right here with a brush and water, and do the same process. Spray it, release, and then add the rubber on there. Alright, so let's see, after a whole day, actually I put enough mold release. Pretty cool. Nice. Okay, so what I did here is I cut an entrance here so I can pour in the silicone. And I'll be using the Platsil number 10, A and B, equal amounts. I'm adding some silicone paint. Give it a little bit of skin tone. Okay, now the important area is closed in, so now I'm going to cover the mold. Alright, let's see if this worked, guys. If it didn't work, then maybe I'll go back to plan A. Alright, so just to give me an idea, here it is, silicone arm. Put in a wire, and I noticed that it can bend it. So it kind of gives you an idea of how. So to be honest with you guys, I am going to go to plan A, which was initially using the original arms, cutting it and just sculpting around it and giving it the shape. But what's good about this is that this is going to help me kind of get an idea as a reference. So, thinking, man. Okay. So, as I said, we're all learning here, and not bad of an idea, but I think it's just going to be a lot harder to do than sculpting the original arms. Not bad though. Alright guys, so as you can see, this is no more. Decided to invest in one of these little guys, so hell, I don't know, I'm just going to use it for Superman, I guess. I don't know, I'll think of something. Maybe I'll use it for something else eventually. So after cutting up the arms, you know, then you start getting more ideas. So I'll see, either I'll start doing what I was planning on doing, or I'm going to try to just use this guy and then use a wire and sculpt my own arms and see if I can do that. Alright, either way they're going to be garbage anyway, so let's see what happens.